Today on Armor, China crosses a major red line with Iran, potentially sparking a wider Middle East conflict. Could this be the first new war of 2023? Find out next. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode here at the channel. If you like your news fast, furious, and most importantly, accurate, then make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss a single episode. Now, this is breaking news here at the channel, so we're gonna have to kind of move quickly. But what I want to talk about today is Iran. Right? Iran and Israel have been on a collision course for some time now. We talked a lot about this during the recent ceasefire between Hamas and Israel, because a lot of people said, well, once this ceasefire ends, Israel's going to go after Iran. Well, they're not. That's not happening. Not only would that be way too big of a conflict for Israel to handle, but it would be a suicide mission. There's no way that Israel could win a war against Iran, especially with how strong Iran's military is. Iran has arguably the strongest military in the region. But it's their ballistic missile program that really has Israel worried. They've tested intercontinental ballistic missiles, which means they could reach Israel, and those ballistic missile tests have become much more frequent over the past few years, which has only exacerbated tensions between the two nations. Well, it appears that Iran may have just crossed a major red line that could force Israel's hand and lead to the first new war of 2023. According to the Jerusalem Post, Iran has deployed fighter jets to Syria in an apparent show of force. Now, if you don't think that's a big deal, listen to this. These were Chinese-made fighter jets, right? China has basically given Iran the green light to attack Israel. This is a massive deal. It shows that China is backing Iran, and Iran now has access to some pretty advanced aircraft, which will bolster their air forces and ability to project power throughout the region. According to the article, these are Chengdu J-10 fighter jets, one of China's most advanced multi-role fighter aircraft. Now, these aren't stealth fighters, so they're not the most advanced aircraft ever produced, but they are still very capable and they represent a significant upgrade over anything Iran currently has in their arsenal. These can carry air-to-air missiles, air-to-ground missiles, precision-guided munitions, and they have the ability to operate beyond the line of sight, which makes them even more deadly. The report goes on to say, quote, "This is part of an Iranian effort to rapidly expand its arsenal of combat aircraft. At a time when Western powers, including the United States and Britain, are considering providing fighter jets to Ukraine in order to help it battle Russian aggression. So Iran realizes that the world is watching what is happening in Ukraine, and they know that the West needs air superiority in order to win that war. And they're saying, well, guess what? We also need air superiority in our war with Israel. And so they're trying to bolster their ranks by getting these advanced Chinese fighter jets. The timing of this couldn't be worse for Israel. They're still dealing with the fallout from the recent Hamas attack. They're still reeling from that and trying to get everything sorted out. And now Iran is sending advanced fighter jets to Syria. Like I said before, this is a major red line that has been crossed. Now, the timing of this is interesting as well, because it comes just days before Israeli President Isaac Herzog is set to speak before the UN General Assembly. He will be addressing the nation there, and he will likely touch on the issue of Iran's nuclear program and their ballistic missile program, and how those threaten not only Israel's existence but the entire region. Iran has vehemently denied that their nuclear program is used for anything other than civilian purposes. But Israel has known for quite some time that this is not the case. Israel believes that Iran is using this program as a cover to develop nuclear weapons. Now, back to these fighter jets. China has been selling arms to Iran for years now. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. However, these fighter jets represent a significant upgrade over what Iran already has in their arsenal. According to the Jerusalem Post, the JF-17s are considered to be on par with the American F-16s, which would be a huge upgrade for Iran's Air Force. The report says that Iran has been interested in purchasing the jets since 2011. But the United States had blocked the sale every time until 2022, when China began construction on the jets without U.S. approval. This is seen as a major embarrassment for the United States and a sign of growing cooperation between China and Iran. It's unclear how many fighter jets Iran has purchased from China, but it's believed that they are in the process of buying up to 24 of them. Now, this is not a small number. 24 fighter jets would represent a significant increase in Iran's air power and would allow them to better defend against any potential Israeli attack. Remember, Israel has been threatening to strike Iran's nuclear facilities for years now. In fact, there was an Israeli covert operation carried out back in 2018, where they bombed an airfield in Syria where Iran was attempting to build a base. During that bombing, they took out several Iranian aircraft. So it's clear that Israel sees Iran's growing influence in Syria as a threat and they're retaking steps to counter it. Israel has reportedly carried out hundreds of airstrikes in Syria since the beginning of the Syrian civil war in 2011. These strikes have targeted Iranian and Hezbollah assets as well as any weapons shipments that they were able to send through Syria into the hands of Hezbollah in Lebanon. But Iran wants to stop these attacks, right? They want to end the Israeli airstrikes in Syria, and they believe that having a large enough air force that can push back Israel is the way to do it. Benjamin Netanyahu, who is Israel's prime minister, has repeatedly warned that Israel will not allow Iran to acquire nuclear weapons. In fact, during his recent speech to the UN, Netanyahu presented what he said was, quote, conclusive proof that Iran is developing nuclear weapons. Now, this isn't the first time that Netanyahu has made such an accusation. Back in 2012, he gave a speech to the UN that laid out what he said was Iran's plan to develop nuclear weapons. However, despite these claims, the international community has been unable to come to a consensus on whether or not Iran is actually pursuing nuclear weapons. Some countries, most notably the United States, believe that Iran is not seeking nuclear weapons. However, Israel is not convinced, and they believe that Iran's nuclear program is a major threat to their security. Netanyahu has said that Israel is prepared to act alone, if necessary, to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. This is a major red line for Israel, and they will not allow Iran to cross it. Now, this is a tough position for Israel to be in, because they know that a war with Iran would be devastating. Iran has a much larger population than Israel. It has a much larger military, and it is located in a strategic location that gives it control over key trade routes. However, Israel is not willing to live under the threat of annihilation. They know that if Iran were to acquire nuclear weapons, it would be an existential threat to their nation. So this is a major situation that we're watching here. We'll keep you updated if anything else develops. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. You can tell I am very passionate about bringing you news. This is my full-time job now. And so, I'm so grateful for everyone who watches, who likes, comments, shares, subscribes. It means the world to me, and it helps us continue to grow. But if there's anything you don't like, it's me being overly excited about news. Because this is something I'm very passionate about. I love doing this. I hope you enjoy it as well. And if you don't, hey, I'm sorry. I guess I'll just see you next time, right? Thanks again for watching. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe here at Armor Pulse. It's free. We don't do sponsorships. We're viewer supported, and so I hope you consider subscribing. It really does help us out a lot. And always remember, you are the pulse. This nation is built by scholars, and this nation will be maintained by scholars.